I'd like you to maybe expand on that a little, because I think in recent times, particularly in the last few weeks, when it came to the stuff that went on with regards to the fuel protests, there was so much stuff and so much anger, so much misinformation, and so much of all of the other things thrown in there. And I was one of those people that was asking myself the question, what purpose does that have? And all it's doing is driving people to be more cross, I suppose. You anything else that you want to, or is there any? And I sometimes, and Jesus, it would be great if you could say, stop social media altogether.
Well, I mean, that might be part of it, to be honest, is we do have evidence now, and it's a global trend to have restrictions on teenage social media, for instance. However, we actually know, particularly from the Irish Council for Civil Liberties and other groups, that it's the actual algorithm that needs challenging, that hatred, abuse, argument is actually supported by the algorithm that has a direct line to the profit margin of multinationals that sometimes we're way too shy to challenge and take on, particularly in this country. I myself experienced some online abuse at the weekend because of the nature of the work that we do. I've experienced it before, but it did get me to wonder, what is the life of a public representative like? And in the democracy...
We'll tell you.
Well, I can't imagine, because, and I do empathise, and like we might all have our differences of opinion on a whole range of things, but in a democracy you have the right to peace, respect and safety, and you have the ballot box there to underpin that. And now we see a trend that actually puts some of that in jeopardy. And some of this has also been fed through overseas networks, through a movement that's very explicit, including one of our allies in a certain country and beyond. And we need to have very open and raw conversations about that. We also know that a particular senator in these houses that commented on particular aspects of the fuel protests was then subject to a huge amount of abuse. And I myself can now feel the shadow and weight of what I say here right now in what might I say that will give rise to further abuse. But we can't be afraid of that. We have to trust and build and fight for our democracy, and also respect that people have genuine disaffected concerns and genuine anger that they're not being heard, and that they need to have some place where they're being listened and to have some voice. So I think we need a much deeper, much more systemic level, root and branch, honest, difficult conversation across all parties, whether it be left or right. We need to agree on a common consensus that abuse, violence, disinformation is wrong. There should be no tolerance.